Today I am in central London. I'm actually a stone's throw from Downing Street, where the Prime Minister resides. And the reason why I'm here is to go to this place behind me, Great Scotland Yard. Now, this used to be the headquarters of the British police force back in the 19th century. It was actually established by Sir Robert Peel. But today it's a hotel and it does a really interesting afternoon tea. So let's head inside Great Scotland Yard and see what the afternoon tea is like. Now, this hotel is a really cool place, and it was formerly the Great Scotland Yard actual police station where they used to do all of the investigations, but now it's been turned into a really cool place. Let's have a quick look at a couple of the bars because they are worth mentioning. So this one is based on something called 40 Elephants, which was basically a criminal female gang that operated in the 1800s, so basically 40 of them. And they used to go around in horse-drawn carriages and pretend to be rich and go and rob people. So they've got the theming in here. They've done this like a sort of a carriage, as you would see back in the 1800s. So it's a really cool place. And in the middle here, they've got some actual loot that these guys actually took. So this was evidence that was taken. So you can see this glass table. It's got lots of different bits of money and all sorts of things in here. It's a really fun place. And if we look at the menu quickly, the Great Scotland Yard Hotel, it's done like a case file. So you can see it says case file 40 Elephant Gang, and then it's got a little bit of history on the gang itself, and then all of the cocktails are named after them. So really quite a cool place. There's a big chandelier above us which relates to one of their crimes where they smashed the chandelier. So that's pretty cool. But let's have a look at this other bar, which is even cooler. So this bar is a secret bar that's done like a speakeasy. So if I press the secret button here, the door will open and in we go into the speakeasy bar. Now, this is called the shebeen, which is, I think, the Irish word for secret bar. And this is a very, very cool place to hang out. And you can see the door, it's closing behind me here to keep it nice and private. And then we've got this very cool structure above, which is basically made out of bottles. Really very, very cool venue this is. Very impressed. So before we even had the afternoon tea, I'm really excited to see what it's like. But love the theming in this place, absolutely brilliant. So here I am at the table inside the Great Scotland Yard Hotel, and it's really quite nice in here. It's quite intimate actually, it's quite small, not sure how many covers they've got, probably only 20, 25, maybe 30 covers, so very small, limited amount of people, which makes it quite nice and a bit more sort of upmarket. Now, the menu itself, not very upmarket, it's a piece of paper, but the reason for that is that they change this menu quite frequently. So previously they had criminal investigation specialty on, but now they've changed it to the spring tea. So I won't go through the menu, we'll have a look at all the things when they come, but it looks quite interesting, quite impressed that the savoury section particularly looks like it's quite good. And the teas are listed in this nice little book, and you can have unlimited teas, so you can choose as many as you like. They've got a good selection of black, oolong, green, white, and herbal infusions. So I've ordered a Darjeeling today, which is first time I've had Darjeeling. The cameraman recommended it, so I'm going to give that a try. So let's see what it's like when it turns up. The Darjeeling tea has now arrived in this really nice teapot. Now, interestingly, I don't need a strainer because the way that they do it here, quite cleverly, they put the leaves into this glass pot first, which has got a strainer in the top, a bit like a coffee plunger, if you have one of those. So all the leaves stay in here, and then they decant this into my teapot. so that I don't have any hassle having to stop all of the tea leaves coming out. Quite a good system. Quite like that. First time I've come across that. Quite like this little cup and saucer. Quite neat. Decent size, but feels a bit more substantial than a China one. So what's the Darjeeling tea like? Oh, it's very nice. Very smooth, very light. Yeah, not quite as heavy as an English breakfast. Still tastes a decent amount of caffeine in there, but that's like an all-day tea. You could drink that anytime you want. So really enjoying this. I like the little way that they do it in here. Quite fun. Just waiting for the food to arrive, so see you then. The savoury course has now arrived, and I do like the presentation here. Very impressive. Comes on its own 3-tier stand. So these are just the savouries. This isn't any cakes or anything. We've got interesting little selection of different things here. So on the top, I'm going to start with this one. I've got the menu because I need to refer back to it. But this is basically a puff pastry that has, let me just check on this. It's a rose courgette tartlet is what they're calling it. So it's courgette inside here. Quite substantial, actually, quite weighty. It's all come out. So the puff pastry is warm, the courgette inside is actually cold. Interesting combination. Puff pastry is nice, very light. Yeah, I think the courgette could have been a bit warmer. It's quite nice. I like special things like that aren't just sandwiches. So, not bad. Decent start. Okay, we'll move on to this one, which is it's a little bit wobbly, this. This is a sort of double-decker sandwich. So we've got ham at the bottom and roasted carrot at the top, and they're calling this a tea sandwich. So this sort of double-decker tea sandwich looks quite interesting. The ham's quite nice. Standard ham. It's decent. 3 slices there. Roasted carrot, quite an unusual combination with it. It's quite sweet. I quite like it. It's unusual. Not had something like that before. It's quite good. It's a good combination. I'm liking the variety that we've got here. Now, hidden behind that next one is this, which is a salmon roulette quenelle. So what we've got here is salmon. I think it's cooked salmon that's been made into a sort of a paste with some cream cheese, and then it's sitting on this sort of biscuit. So. Ooh, quite hard. Interesting biscuit. It's sort of a mixture between a cracker and a biscuit, but it's quite chunky, quite hard to chew. It's a bit like a French toast, but a really hard one. The salmon part of it's quite nice. And the biscuit, interesting, is the way that I'd classify that. Now, we'll move on to the second of the hot things, which is, let me see if I can find it on here, caramelised leek and pancetta quiche. So, looks quite good. Pastry looks very thin. Bit of pancetta on the top. Pancetta's quite salty. Quiche is nice and light. It's warm. Yeah, that's good. I like that. And then finally, we've got cucumber with herby cream cheese on white bread. Now, I like the way that they presented this. Sort of looks a bit like a cake, doesn't it? Quite fun. So we've got a bit of sliced cucumber on the top. Quite artistic the way they've done that. And they've got some cucumber with cream cheese in the actual sandwich itself. Yeah, that's good. You can see here what they've done, very thin slices of cucumber, just sort of laid it all diagonally. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, overall, I think they've done quite a good job. Because sometimes the savoury courses can be a bit boring in terms of the presentations. Just come, it's maybe just 4 or 5 slices of sandwich, but they've put something interesting into every single one of those items. Good variety of flavours, got a couple of hot things. Overall, it's a good start. So Darjeeling's going down well, savouries are going down well. Cameron's going to have his in a minute. See you for the next course, which is always the best bit, the scones. The scones have now arrived. Well, everything's arrived, but we'll just talk about the scones to start with. And I've got a new tea. So I've gone for an organic jade sword tea, which it's a green tea. You can see it looks quite different to normal teas. Very, very nice. Had a little sip before. Oh, it's really tasty. I've not had a green tea. It's much lighter than a black tea. Really nice. Go down well with these scones. I've got a slightly different teapot as well, so a bit smaller. Okay, let's have a look at these scones. So, nicely concealed because they're warm, so you can feel them. That's quite good. Quite a nice little presentation. We've got plain scone. Looks like a good size. I like it. Nice shape to it. For that in a second. And a raisin scone. Now, that is packed with raisins. Tons of raisins in there. Most recent one I went to before this, I only had one raisin in my last scone, but this one looks pretty good. I'm going to start with the raisin one because it's my favourite. See if I can break it nicely. Okay, that's come apart really well. Good break. That's a bit smaller, but all good. See if I can break this one while I'm here. There's no obvious break point in this. Ah, perfect. Good quality scones. Let's see what they taste like now. Got some jam and cream. Cream, cameraman's just commented on this saying it looks like ice cream. It does look like ice cream, doesn't it? Nicely scooped out. And then this jam is a red currants and raspberry jam. Not something I've had before. Now, if you've been watching the afternoon teas, you can see that I've got 2 spoons here. So the way that you do this is you take your jam out with your spoon and also your cream, but I'm just going to drop it straight onto this scone. And I think this is the Devon way, where you put the jam on first and then the cream. Let's see what this cream's like. Okay, I'm going to have to encourage that cream off the spoon, I think. There we go. Right. Let's see what it's like. I can feel how warm it is. Wow. Scone's really good. That's a perfect scone, actually. Hard on the outside, soft and fluffy and light, just melts in your mouth on the inside. That jam is really incredibly tasty. It's a really powerful, punchy flavour. It must be the red currant, because it doesn't taste predominantly of raspberries. It tastes of something else. It must be red currants. I'm not familiar with red currants particularly, but it's really, really nice, really tasty. That's one of my favourite jams that I've had recently. I like that. Cream's good. It's a bit tricky to get off the spoon, but it tastes really good. Now I'm going to try the fruit scone, see what this is like. Just as good. Well, these scones are great. Really pleased with the scones. You don't get a refill here, unfortunately, so you only get 2 each, but 2's enough, to be honest. If you load it up with jam and cream, that'll be plenty. So I'm going to crack on and eat the rest of these. Really looking forward to it. Carry on with my green tea, which is delicious. Cameraman's going to have their scones as well. See you in a moment when we start these cakes. It's now time for the pastries, the dessert section, and I've got myself a new tea. Got some white tea, says the white needle now. Look how clear this tea is. So good. So compare that to the black tea and the green tea. This is as good as it gets. Oh, it's so fresh. It's almost like there's no tea in it at all. It's really tasty though. Nice. Okay, let's have a look at these desserts. I'm going to start off with these ones first. So let me pick that one off. Put that down there. I'll have a look at the menu so I can tell you exactly what it is. This is raspberry rose tea cake. It is lychee mousse inside, raspberry and rose compote with a Viennese sponge. It's sitting on a sort of a biscuit. Now I'm going to cut this, see what it looks like. Hopefully we can see this. You can see the nice leaf that they put on the top and then drop it. Take that off. White chocolate, very nice. Okay, there's the cross section. So we can see the lychee mousse in there. Looks quite nice. Can I get that into my mouth? It's quite big. It's really light and refreshing. The lychee mousse really moist and a powerful sort of zesty sort of flavour. And then just a hint of rose. I think they've got a good balance there. The biscuit at the bottom is actually quite nice because everything's very soft. Biscuit gives it a little bit of crunch. It's good. It looks good. Said it before that it's always a sign of a good chef if you can get some decent pastries, and these ones look pretty good. And this one is a choux bun. Now, it's quite popular to have choux buns. Most of the afternoon teas I've been to recently have had some sort of choux bun, which is filled with cream. And this one, let me have a look at the menu to tell you exactly what it is. It's a strawberry blossom, strawberry compote, elderflower ganache choux. So, strawberry and elderflower. It's got really quite a nice design on the top. Actually, it's been nicely filled, quite picturesque. It's really quite a very good flavour of strawberry. That strawberry cream in the middle there. I'm not tasting much of the elderflower. Tastes predominantly of strawberry. It's really nice though. Outside's nice and crisp and crunchy, soft on the inside. Really good flavour. Really good. Feels light as well, not too heavy, which is good because I've already had quite a lot of cream with the scones. Two good starters. Let's look at this one. This looks quite impressive. But I'll tell you what it is before I move it. Lemon Delight, sponge cake with lemon cream. So, sounds simple. I should be able to lift that off. I really like the design. Quite nice. It's got a nice bit of icing on the outside. So we can cut that. Yeah, that's what it's like on the inside. Let's see what it tastes like. It's not what I was expecting. I was expecting that to be cream. It's actually just sponge, so it's like a cake that's sandwiched with these biscuits on the outside with just a bit of icing around the top. Quite tasty though. Got a good lemon flavour to it. So overall, I think these are 3 good ways to finish. When you get to this stage of your afternoon tea, you don't really want anything that's too heavy because you've already had quite a volume of food and quite a lot of sugar. So I think the balance here is quite right. We've only got 3 cakes, and quite often you get 4 or 5, but they're quite big, quite substantial. So overall, I think they're pretty good. So I'm going to carry on with my white tea, finish off these cakes. The cameraman's going to have his. See you at the end for the wrap-up and the bill. Okay, here we are at the end of the meal. Now, I meant to mention something about this hotel. We saw earlier it's a cool place to be, but this was formerly the headquarters of the police force in the UK. And this dates back to 1829 when Robert Peel, or Sir Robert Peel as he became, established the police force in the UK. So before that, it was local wardens and people basically just doing local policing, and basically the national police force was set up, the Metropolitan Police, and this was their headquarters from 1829 to 1890, which means that the Jack the Ripper case was actually investigated here because that was 1888. So it's quite a cool location, very close to 10 Downing Street, and Sir Robert Peel, who created the police force, his name became basically synonymous with policemen in the UK, so there were 2 nicknames taken from it. Bobbies, which Bobby is the shortened version of Robert, obviously, so people still call policemen in the UK today Bobbies. Well, if you're old, you would. And also Peelers, so from his surname Peel, people called them Peelers, which is, I think, still in Ireland, people are still calling them Peelers. Anyway, great bit of history, and it is a fantastic building. They've done a really sympathetic conversion here. The rooms are really quite palatial. We saw some of them earlier. Quite a nice place to hang out. So, let's talk about the bill and this afternoon tea. So, we started off with the selection of savouries. I have to say, they're quite good, quite innovative. Came on the 3-tier stand with some different bits and pieces there, not just sandwiches. Good mixture of flavours, really quite nice. I was quite impressed with the starting point. We then had the scones, which were fantastic. They were really good, great scones, just the right size, really cooked well, hard on the outside, soft on the inside, and the jam was brilliant. Really like that jam. Good cream, so big thumbs up for that. And then we had 3 cakes to finish with, which were bigger than normal and quite a nice, tasty variety. And the teas here have been really good, really been impressed with that. Now, what was the bill? Now, if you walk in off the street and you're paying the list price for this menu, it's £65 each. So that'd be £130 for 2 people. So that's sort of mid-range. The most expensive ones at the moment are somewhere between 85 and 95, so 65 sort of slightly below that level. However, I managed to get a deal today. So if you're interested in coming here type in Great Scotland Yard afternoon tea into Google and you'll probably find a deal. I got mine on Virgin Experiences, and so I got a 20% discount. So £130 as it would have been, well actually it would have been 130 plus service charge, which is another 20 quid, so it would have been £150. I got that for £104, so quite a big saving, no service charge needed. So a little tip if you're thinking about coming here. So overall, I think this is a great venue. It's a really nice, relaxed atmosphere, play nice music, nobody's too dressed up. Some people are quite dressed up, but other people aren't. So it's sort of a very relaxed environment. The staff are super friendly, food was good. What's my overall score? I'm going to give this place an 8 out of 10, which I think is a very solid score. I would definitely come back and have it again, and I think I probably will when they're having one of their specialties. So they're going to do another criminology one. I think they're doing Wimbledon one. They've got lots of different things all planned. So I'll probably come back and check out what they're like. But hopefully you've enjoyed today's video. If you have, then please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and I'll see you again on the next meal. Cheers.